Welcome to Prague, Millie.
Thank you.
You are here as a judge for the Czech World Class Final. What do you enjoy most about the judging and competition like this?
I love judging cocktail competitions, particularly world class in particular, because just as someone who's in the industry, it's a really amazing tool of measurement to be able to see where the talent and the skill is at currently in the industry for younger bartenders. It's amazing to see just how they come up with their ideas and the way that they want to present themselves and produce their drinks. And it's always amazing when they're introducing flavors I've never tasted or ideas I've never thought of as well.
Mm-hmm. What brings you more joy? Being behind the bar or creating experiences outside of it, like pop-ups or traveling?
I think that the longer I've been in the industry, I'm starting to find fulfillment in a lot of different areas of the industry. Obviously, since COVID, we've had this massive boom of traveling and social media, content creation, etc. So I'm very lucky that I get to work in all different facets in the industry, but really nothing can compare to being behind the bar and making drinks. Like nothing will ever replace that feeling.
Tell me now, how do you recognize a great bar? What makes the differences for you? Is it the atmosphere, team, or the guests?
Well, I actually talked to quite a few people and quite a few friends about this. My partner and I mentioned that there's a kind of like a fun little acronym called MALTA. M-A-L-T-A, Malta.
Malta?
Yeah, so it stands for music, atmosphere, lighting, temperature, and attitude.
Okay.
So how's the music? Is it too loud? Is it too soft? Does it suit the vibe of the place? Is it trying to create a certain vibe? You've got the atmosphere. What's it like inside the bar? It's like kind of a combination of everything. How are people interacting in there? And then you've got lighting. Is it too light? Is it too dim? What's like the temperature of the light? Temperature, is it too cold? Is it too warm? Obviously, I come from Paris. We hate air conditioning, so a lot of the time places are probably a bit too warm. And then you have like attitude, and that's the attitude of the guests, but also the bartenders and how they greet you and how everyone's interacting.
So this looks like it's about the balance.
Yeah, it's about a good balance of everything.
Everything, and then it's great.
I don't think that there's one specific thing that makes a good bar. It's always a really nice balance of everything.
I understand. What do you think is really relevant and meaningful in the bartending right now? What are people talking about more and what's changing?
I think that, just to make a comment, in general, overall, to do with any trends or movements, that because of social media and because of so much travel, we are seeing a quite specific globalization of the way that people are approaching bartending and bars and drinks. It's really hard to find local trends or styles anymore that aren't really connected to just their ingredients and what they have. For example, like the style of bartending and bar in India is very close to the style of bartending bar in the UK. And I've been to India a couple of times and I've talked with a lot of bartenders there, and I've asked them why don't they use more Indian ingredients in their cocktails. And they tell me that it's because consumers don't want that. They want foreign style cocktails. They want to, they want what they see on Instagram, etc. Yeah. So it's tough to say that there are trends anymore. I think that people have kind of done away with things that are temporary. So things like sustainability, obviously, everyone is always working towards that, and we're starting to see it become less of an effort and more of a involved in the process naturally when it comes to drinks and bars. So efforts towards sustainability, minimalism is a big one, and I think that's also attached to sustainability. We're looking to lower waste, so we're looking for minimal waste to present our cocktails. They look cleaner. When you have minimalism, it looks more expensive and luxurious as well. And then I think also the last one would probably be mental health, making sure that you're taking care of your mental health, offering everyone in your bar support if they're having trouble, and just generally not putting up with the toxic work cultures that we've been used to for such a long time.
That's true. You often speak about the importance of mentorship and supporting women
Yes.
in the industry. What does it mean in you personally?
So for me, I think that mentorship, particularly when it comes to other women, mentorship in general is a very specific thing to each of us, how we view it, what it means to us, and how we would like to see ourselves as mentors when we reach a certain level. I would really like to think that I've been a mentor to the people that I've worked with who are younger and have a little bit less experience. But I'm also not totally satisfied with how I've been available to those people. It's very tough if you're trying to build something for yourself and then also be there for other people. So it's made me feel inadequate in a lot of ways. And I feel like I should have been there for younger people and the people I work with more. But it's hard because if I didn't push myself to have what I have now, then there's less opportunity that I can give people as well. So I think that I thrive in a mentorship environment where I have a lot of one-on-one time with people. I don't think I can effectively influence or have good influence on people at mass. I know there are some people who are really good at it. They can arrange really great public speaking and workshops for like lots of people. But I find that I'm most effective as a mentor when it's one-on-one.
Has your own bartending philosophy changed over the past few years? Do you see yourself differently now compared, let's say 2019 after some competition wins?
I definitely do think it has changed. Obviously, just what it means to be a bartender and also the opportunities that you can have in this industry now are so different than when I started. I think a lot of people who started at the same time or earlier than me can sometimes become jaded and puritanical about what it means to be a bartender. You know, you see a lot of people getting mad. So it's like, oh, people don't make drinks anymore. You just batch everything and pour it. And there's elements of truth to that. We know that guests still like a bit of theatre. They like to think that their drink is made freshly and for them. Otherwise, they don't think it's of value. But then you have things that kind of, what's the word? You have things that negate those opinions.
Okay.
Like if you want to be sustainable and if you want to be efficient and if you want to bring value to your customers in what they're actually drinking rather than what they think they're drinking in terms of value. It's quite a new world now. But yes, I think there's value in both sides, like pre-COVID and after COVID, and also from 10 years ago versus now. There's value in both.
Okay. When you create a new drink, what's the most important to you? Flavor, story, seasonality, maybe even a bit of humor?
So when creating drinks, I think it's quite a personal thing. Also, something that would influence a lot what you choose to use in your drinks is whether it's for your bar, whether it's for you personally, or a cocktail competition, or a consultancy project. It really depends on what kind of limitations and rules you have to adhere to. Sometimes it's also quite nice to have a narrow lens to push everything through, because the less freedom you have and the less choice you have with what to work with or what rules you need to adhere to, the more creative you can get with it, because you have to produce something different while also working with something that's been produced before over and over again. For myself, I really love to make sure that there is an element of sustainability with drinks. I think it's just a good practice to have over and over again so that it becomes a habit rather than just something like a box you're trying to tick. I really loved sweet drinks personally.
Sweet drinks?
Yeah, for myself. I love sweet, desserty drinks. So if I was making something for myself, it would probably be sweet, creamy, probably pink. Like an island drink, resort-style drink.
This sounds like a breakfast drink.
Yeah, literally.
Creamy and sweet.
It's like dessert in a glass. It's going to be 500 calories.
Why not? In the morning is fine. It's fine. Is there an ingredient you love using that others maybe overlook or don't use often?
I think that, globally speaking, I'm very lucky to come from Australia and have bartended so long in Australia, because we have such amazing native ingredients to work with that you cannot find anywhere else in the world and aren't readily available in other places in the world. The same goes for produce in Australia. We're so lucky that we grow so much of our own fresh produce, and it's available seasonally but almost all year round in Australia because we have so many different climates and areas where things grow. One thing I do really love working with is called strawberry gum. It's a native Australian ingredient. It's a type of eucalyptus, and it grows. The trees that grow this leaf are situated in a very small area in the northern New South Wales highlands, and they're a type of gum tree. And the leaf is just like a eucalyptus leaf, but it grows like slightly pink. And when it's dried and you use it in drinks and desserts, it tastes like kind of like strawberry menthol. It's delicious. And you only have to use like a tiny little bit of it to get like a good taste.
All right, never heard about it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Imagine walking into the completely unknown bar. You don't know the bartenders or what's on the menu. What do you order?
Oh, I did this yesterday, so...
Schnitt.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have beer? Can I please? But when I go to bars that I've never been to before, especially ones I don't know anything about, I love just ordering a cocktail off the menu. Usually I'll ask them what the most popular cocktail is, because I think that that's the mark of, the bar is to get what they're proud, what they're proud to serve. But I don't drink as much as I used to. I try and limit how much I drink, and I usually save it for when I'm traveling and trying new places. And I think that the best mark of the creativity of the bartender is what they're making. So cocktails
sounds
off the
logical.
menu. Yeah, it's very logical.
Can you remember a cocktail that really impressed you or excited you recently, and what made it stand out?
This is going to be really biased,
Okay.
Unfortunately. I'm horribly biased. I actually went to China last year in Shanghai for World Class finals. It was an amazing opportunity to get to judge at the Globals. And I extended the trip to go to two cities. One was Chengdu, which is in Sichuan, and the other is Guangzhou, which is down in the southern part of China, like opposite Hong Kong, basically. My partner did a takeover at Hope and Sesame, which is a very well-known bar from China, and they've opened a second venue called Sanyo. And Sanyo's concept is that it is a baijiu bar. And the thing about baijiu is that a lot of people in China obviously drink it for tradition. It doesn't have a very good reputation at tasting very nice, because I think a lot of people's first experience of it is like when they're having to toast with it and traditional events and birthdays, etc. So they view it as like an old person's drink, the younger people. And then when foreigners first taste it, it's a very polarizing flavor. And depending on which baijiu you get, it can be a very unexpected flavor for people to have to process. But what the team from Hope and Sesame are doing at Sanyo, they're using baijiu in really amazing and creative ways. They're offering tastings and flights so that you can taste the difference in all the varieties that they have, all the different brands. And I don't mind baijiu. I've had a good experience with tasting it the first time. But even when I went there with the cocktails, with the brands that they have, I was shocked about how they used it in the cocktails. It was so brilliant, and it was such a great way for someone who would be tasting it for the first time to be introduced to it.
Wow.
So it would have to be like the drinks at Sanyo in Guangzhou.
What do you think that makes someone a truly great host behind the bar?
I love this one. I'm lucky enough to be the partner of someone who is exceptional bartender, not just in the drinks that he makes, but in how he makes other people feel.
It's about the hospitality, right?
It's about hospitality. It's about how you make other people feel, and it's about having a positive effect on someone's day. He's the perfect representation of that. And I think that you can learn to be a good host, you absolutely can, but I think to make someone an exceptional host, there has to be a native element of charisma and caregiving in a person, for sure.
When you have a completely free day, where do you go? And what do you do when the bars close and the world goes quiet?
I probably find another way to work, to be honest. I'm a bit of a workaholic.
Are you?
Yes, unfortunately. But in the dream world, if I could say we had a second COVID, how I would fill my time. I love playing the piano.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I love playing the piano. I do pottery, like ceramics as well, which I find very therapeutic. And I also love climbing, so like bouldering. So any combination of those two things is a very good day.
What are you the most looking forward into the coming months, personally or professionally? What exciting for Millie Tang in 2025?
There's quite a few things. I'm very excited to be involved in World Class this year, obviously, in multiple different cities and places. So the Northern European final is coming up in 2 weeks' time. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited for quite a little bit of travel that I have. And then also taking a nice little holiday in Bali.
A holiday?
For my friend's wedding in Australia.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the one big myth about the bartenders you'd love to bust for good?
It's hard because bartenders tend to really adhere to a stereotype sometimes, so it can be hard. I think that one thing a myth I would like to bust about bartenders is that not all of us like to drink a lot. Maybe that's specific about where you are in life and how old you are, but depending on how old you are, yeah, bartenders, not all of them like to drink a lot and get wasted. That might also be from where you're from, because apparently here they like to drink. So
because some of them still want to survive.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to have a longevity in this career, at some point you really have to stop partying and start working. Exactly.
Millie Tang is a guest of VisitChef magazine. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you very much for having me.
To byla další epizoda z podcastu magazínu VisitChef. Všechny epizody naleznete v našem archivu na www.visitchef.com/podcast a také ve všech podcastových aplikacích. Kontaktovat nás můžete na adrese redakce @visitchef.com. Na nový díl podcastu od nás se můžete těšit každý týden. A my se budeme těšit na vás.